Hello and welcome back to Foul Play, where we play foully. Yes.
Well, we're gonna play in the mud,
Yep.
and we'll be foul.
Indeed we shall.
So, over the break, I decided Scampwick's new name is Scamper.
Scamper.
Yep, Scamper, and he is voiced by Scamper.
You mean Stamper?
Yes.
Suddenly he's the narrator of Battle Block Theater. Because that's the only thing I know Stamper from, really.
That's,
Like,
I mean, unless there's like some super secret shit that he's in, that's all I know him from, and also his videos. I love Stamper. Go to Stamper's channel and support him.
Yep. Also, we have officially gotten every challenge completed in
Act
Play
1
1 now.
Or Play 1.
So, we're not going to be actively seeking out challenges in this play. Pretty much for this episode.
I mean, we still will try for you guys.
Yeah. But like one of them is get a 75x combo, which is some shit.
What game is after Soul Reaver 2? Oh, Blood Omen 2.
Oh right, you're continuing your Legacy of Kain opinions.
Bro, Blood Omen 2 is the game that never should have existed.
Oh.
Seriously, Blood Omen 2 is so bad.
It's like Deus Ex Invisible War then?
Yes. Yes. That is a very good comparison. Because Invisible War... No, it's not a good comparison. Because Invisible War doesn't fuck up the storyline. Not only does Blood Omen 2 have like a stupid gameplay that's fucked up, or not fucked up, but just not right to the series. It also like breaks the story completely. And I wish I could touch upon that, but it would be spoilers.
I see.
So actually, I want to talk about it anyway. So spoiler warning, if you plan on playing the Blood Omen games or the Legacy of Kain games, maybe we can put an annotation, or you could just not listen. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll put a thing in the video.
You could
to
be
say,
like,
skip to this time.
yeah.
Also, I just want to point out, ancient Egyptian elevator.
Yeah. No. What are you talking about? This is the entrance to a super secret cave that does not go underground at all. What?
Yeah, right.
There is absolutely no pulley system with janitors pulling it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I definitely didn't just hear a bell ring from
Scamper,
this thing.
did you eat some of the mushrooms? You're not supposed to. British tone activate. I don't know why I activated it after. But still. So, there's this thing in Blood Omen 2 where you get the Soul Reaver. You get the Soul Reaver in Blood Omen 2, which implies that which implies either two things. Either one, it's a part of the broken timeline, the one that was unsuccessful, and then Raziel didn't get sucked into the Soul Reaver. Or it implies that after the moments of the game after it, which is Legacy of Kain Defiance, that would mean that Kain would have to take the Soul Reaver that at the end Raziel gets into and go give it to himself, which he has already been using. So it creates kind of like a broken thing where Soul Reaver's not supposed to exist in the timeline that's supposed to be active in Defiance.
Yeah.
And so if that's a thing, then that means either Blood Omen 2 is just a bad, or it's supposed to be a part of the broken timeline. But officially, it's not supposed to be a part of the broken timeline because, what's his name is alive? I don't remember his name. The guy who created vampires. He's actually in that game and and is already resurrected. But he doesn't get resurrected until Defiance, which means it's supposed to be the broken timeline. So the fact that Soul Reaver's in that game means that it's all wrong, because I don't remember his name, if that guy is alive, then Soul Reaver's not supposed to exist, because Raziel didn't put himself into it until after.
Yeah. That makes
Meaning,
sense.
yeah, so it pretty much is broken. It just breaks the story altogether. It's supposed to be a broken timeline, but they put a character that's a part of the canon timeline. So yeah, it's a really weird, and I don't know, I don't understand why they would do that. Which I actually do understand why they would do that, because Blood Omen 2 was being made at the same time as Soul Reaver 2. So the developers that made Blood Omen 2, which are different developers, the developers of Blood Omen 2 had no idea what was happening in Soul Reaver 2, so they just made up their own shit. Soul Reaver comes out, and Soul Reaver reveals that the Soul Reaver is actually Raziel, and that Raziel refuses in one of the timelines to become the Soul Reaver. And so they're like, well, shit, we put Soul Reaver in our game, which is supposed to be a part of your timeline. So we literally just were dumb and didn't get our facts straight.
Yep.
So yeah, that became a thing. So Blood Omen 2, and then the gameplay of Blood Omen 2, it's trying to be a beat 'em up, but it's trying to be like a tactical beat 'em up, and it's just weird. There's a block system and an attack system, and you're supposed to block and attack accordingly. But it's not all hack and slashy, because you can't just like wave your weapon around and kill all baddies.
Yep.
But anyway, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
So now they can come back in, because
Yep.
this is very important.
Yep, it is, because we need to be a good and not die in there.
And this kid is yelling at us to be quick. Yep. Quickly! Quickly!
I love how Scamper is like trying to warn him or something.
I feel like that's like well, that's pretty much the canon, that like Scamper is like bad at acting.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm not an actor, I'm a warrior. They're two different things.
Yeah, because it is that these characters play themselves in this play.
Yeah. And so Scamper's like, I can't act. I'm really good at performing amazing destroying of other actors on stage, but when it comes to talking, not my thing.
Yep. Pretty much. So we need to escape this trap in 60 seconds for the challenge.
Which pretty much was did. And then my opinion of Defiance is it was good. It certainly could have been better, because like it went to a hack and slash system like the Soul Reavers, but like an even more hack and slashy game. Like they just took it overboard with how much hack and slash there was. There wasn't any kind of cool kill system like Soul Reaver 1 had. Because Soul Reaver 1, you fight vampires, and vampires are pretty much invincible, but to certain things, you know, like light or sunlight and being impaled and decapitated. So everything you're hack and slashing is like invincible, so you have to create a cool system of how to kill them. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But and then 2 kind of did that, but not really. And then Defiance was just like, no, you just swing at them and they die. And projectiles are things, so you could just projectile them to death if you feel like it. That said, there were some really cool gameplay systems in Defiance. Like, since you switch between Kain and Raziel, there's 2 different ways that you can absorb your prey. Because Kain can suck up their blood, or he can bite them on the neck, versus Raziel, who has to steal their soul, so he has to do it differently than actually taking their blood.
Yeah.
So it's really cool how the different ways that those characters can finish people off.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's really hack and slashy. The only good trait of Legacy of Kain Defiance is its story. Because, as I just explained, the story is super complicated and amazing. Full of timey-wimey stuff.
Full of Doctor Who.
Yeah, definitely. It's like... the Legacy of Kain games are definitely a diamond in the rough when it comes to storyline. But gameplay, they've seen better days. And they're called Blood Omen 1.
Yep.
And Soul Reaver 1, and sort of Soul Reaver 2. But yeah, those are my opinions, and then I can't wait, because the way that Defiance left off, it could have stopped, but there's a lot of unanswered questions that, if that don't get answered, it kind of breaks the story.
Yeah.
And it would make the fans speculate, which is good, but also not in the case of what happened at the end of Defiance.
I see.
Because does he go back in time and give the sword to his predecessor? Which would mean, if he does do that, Blood Omen 2 could happen. Oh wait, no, Blood Omen 2 couldn't happen. Still, because that one character's alive.
Yep. Dude, we just hung on chains.
Yeah, we went up an elevator. I mean, no. I mean, yeah. I mean, no.
No, they went up on an elevator. We just hung on chains.
No, but that could imply that we did actually go down in an ancient elevator.
Oh,
but
yeah, you're right.
When I first played this, I was like, they're totally like going into a tomb, and the doors are closing, and it's dark inside. But it could actually be an ancient elevator. Who knows?
Who knows? We got 4 stars. That's more than the other 2 that we got 3 stars on.
I was hoping we get 3. I mean 4. 5.
3, 4, 5.
Yep.
What? Wait, was that Act 4 that we just did?
No. I'm derped. I keep forgetting that it does that thing. It will just automatically take you to the next one.
Okay, yeah. I was like confused for a second there.
As was I.
Yeah, here we are. Bold and exciting discoveries, eh?
I think that was the last game I played. Was Legacy of Kain.
I know the last game I played, Bamaham Oranges. And
Oh,
I
nice.
can't talk about it because I don't want to spoil Taco.
Yeah. Damn, I was gonna say too. Oh, it'll be fine if our fans will just put another spoiler warning. But, oh yeah, I can't.
Yeah. That said, I do fucking love that game. It's so good. It's really
You're saying
good.
it's the best in the series so far?
I'm not entirely sure. I would have to say it is, simply because of the characters that are in it. And the fact that I don't know if you know like what villains are in the game or not.
I only know that Joker reappears, which isn't a spoiler because everyone knows that because of the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
Because it's a prequel. I know that Joker's in it, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Then yeah. Well, there was one character who, like, to preface this, I've never really been a fan of the Batman universe before. Like, it just wasn't my thing. I didn't get into comic books or anything, so I didn't know anything about Batman. I hadn't really met these characters in a real way before playing Arkham Asylum.
See, the sad part is neither have I, because I had an uncle who collected comic books, which I've talked about. I actually still have my Avengers comic books that he gave me.
Yeah.
But he had Batman. Batman was the only DC he actually liked, and so he had Batman, but he didn't have like all of them or even any. He had like a comic book, and then he'd have like 20 comic books later from that comic book, and then like 30. So I never actually got to meet characters brand new either. I just knew that, oh, this was a character that was really important in the earlier comic book.
Well, like, I didn't even know that much. Like, I had never seen any of the Batman characters, really, aside from maybe, like, Batman himself, the Joker, a little bit of Two-Face, and Penguin. That's it, pretty much. So,
Okay.
But so in Arkham Origins, or not Origins, in Arkham Asylum, there's, like, as you collect Riddler stuff and just other various things throughout the game, you get unlockable concept art and like character bios of various different characters throughout the games and throughout the Batman series as a whole, like including characters that didn't appear in any Batman game, like ever.
And which Origins has a lot of. I actually now I remember it took me a second. I was like, what is the concept of Origins? Oh yeah, it's Christmas and all of the assassins and Joker. So yeah, and like Deathstroke is in that game, which Deathstroke is my favorite Batman bad guy.
Yeah. I didn't even know that Deathstroke was a Batman bad guy. I thought he was exclusive to Teen Titans.
Nope.
Yeah, like when he first shows up, Batman is like Slade, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yep.
That was a thing.
Yep.
That was amazing.
Could you imagine? I think that's the coolest concept, is that a Batman bad guy who's been fighting Batman for years, when he decides to retire, he just beats up Batman's predecessor. He's like, oh, my retirement plan is just to beat up on his predecessor and make his life a living hell and, I don't know, rape Raven.
Oh, damn. There's more to that.
Yep, that's why I said it.
But yeah, anyway,
No! That motherfucker! He's gonna die soon. God damn.
But so in the bios for Arkham Asylum, I assume you know who all the assassins are?
I don't remember that well, but once you say their name, I'll be like, oh yeah, I bet you.
Okay, well, so in Arkham Asylum, I read through all the character bios because I was super interested, and I found one that was completely out of place because he's like one of the most low-tier villains in the series. He's just unmentioned anywhere. He has no real info on it.
You mean
and
Polka Dot Man?
His name is Firefly.
Oh.
And the fucking Firefly is in Origins. And the moment I saw that, I was like, dude, I'm so fucking hype to meet this character who, ever since I saw him in Asylum, I was like, he seems really cool and interesting. I've always wanted to see what Firefly would be like in an Arkham game, and he's in Origins. So it's just like, this is the best game ever.
You wanna know the funniest bad guy that's in the Batman series?
Is it a man with an open mouth?
Yes. No, it's Quilt Man.
Quilt Man?
Quilt Man. I'm not even joking. That's actually a thing in the Batman.
Okay.
There's a Batman, or there's a villain that's Quilt Man.
Wow.
And he dresses in just like a polka dotted suit with quilt patches.
Yeah.
And then who's the other? There's another Batman villain that's actually really important and funny at the same time.
I see.
I don't remember his name. What's the Penguin's real name? Chester Cobblepot? I think it's Chester Cobblepot. But there's some bad guy whose name is Pennywise.
Oh yeah, Pennywise.
And there's at one point in the Batman series where he tries to crush Batman under a giant penny, hence why he has the giant penny in his thing.
Yeah.
It was a present to him after he caught Pennywise or whoever the name of this. I don't remember. It's been so long that I don't know who this bad guy is, but I remember it was a thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I didn't even read him. It was just in a video that I watched, and I was like, oh, that's a guy?
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I remember also a similar case happened with Calendar Man in Arkham City.
Yeah.
Because he's mentioned in Asylum, but he never actually makes an appearance. And plus I had a friend who was like, I'm really sad Calendar Man isn't in this game. And then he was in City. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and you can even see Calendar Man's room in Asylum.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. He had said, Calendar Man's room is here, but Calendar Man himself isn't. Why?
Who said that, Secco?
No, Adrian.
Oh, Adrian. Yeah, I sort of know him. He was really good friends with my brother in high school.
I see.
Those two were thick as thieves.
Yeah, well, he came over here a lot and hung out, especially after I got Arkham Asylum, because he was like, I totally want to play that So it's like, okay, feel free, have at it. And so, like, he actually played the full game through in front of me with me watching, and that's what convinced me to even try the game. Because I just got it because it was, like, on sale or something, and I had never played it. And then once he played through it, I was like, dude, this is a really cool game. I'm going to play it now and have fun. So I did, and then I 100%ed it. And then I did the same with City, except minus the challenge mode, because challenge mode is lame and dumb.
You do the same thing with Titty?
Yep. And Oranges, because Arkham Origins is similar to City in the way that its completion works, except I fucking hate Oranges. I tried to pronounce it that time and I still couldn't, because it counts New Game Plus completion as part of your overall completion.
Oh,
so if you
shit.
100% everything in just the standard mode, you've got 50% completion.
That's funny. You know what I don't like about the Batman games is that they make progression impossible at some points, with completion that is. They make progression impossible because it's like way early in the game, you need this item to do.
Yeah. I
So,
kind
like,
of like that, because it reminds me of like the 2D Zelda games and their progression style. Where there's just like shit in the world and you see it and you're like, how the fuck do I do that? And then you get an item later that does it.
Okay, that's understandable if it's out in the world, but when you have to go into a dungeon and there's an item required in that dungeon to get something in that dungeon for completion, that sounds tedious.
Yeah, I guess.
Because then I have to go in the dungeon, get to that point, get the item, then either leave the dungeon or beat the dungeon.
Also, this is a really long loading screen.
It's not a loading screen, you need a...
I'm still on the loading screen.
Are you?
Yeah. Now it just barely got to the...
I was gonna say, I've been ready this whole time. I'm like, I guess we'll just have, Talk Squad.
That's weird. And glitchy. Anyway, say hello to the boss that we just fought, kinda.
Yep, which we just fought all of his bitches, because he's a...
Yeah.
He's a mummy pimp.
He is a mummy pimp. Dude, look at that fucking pimp-ass chair. It's
Oh
pimp
yeah,
throne.
totally. And look at that pimp-ass hat, and that pimp-ass cane, and that pimp-ass dick. What?
Anyway, yeah, so that is a thing also in Origins, where Origins has a system called the Dark Knight system that's just a bunch of optional challenges that give you special upgrades. And you just like do them alongside the game whenever you feel like. But there's an entire section of ones that are for Predator challenges specifically.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you don't do those, like if you don't hunt those down right from the start, you actually get screwed out of it and you have to finish it in New Game Plus.
Crazy shit is happening!
Yep. He's
Man,
a spider, except they're like scythes and only 4. And what the fuck?
Dude, could you imagine how much work it would take to make this boss on stage?
Yeah, that would be crazy, actually, now that you think about it.
Yeah, some of the bosses in this game are, like, crazy to recreate.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Oh, lasers. So, I kind of just want to try this. I shouldn't, I know, but...
You want to hit him with that thing?
I want to try, yeah.
Go ahead, maybe we'll have a 4th form, who knows? Or I mean a 3rd form.
Look at his health go down!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Then everyone throws their hats because they're like, he just fucked that guy!
Yeah, literally. And the crowd goes wild for my crazy OP combo. Dude. Oh my god. That's like a portal to hell.
Yep. Portal to hell.
Pretty much. Oh my high top hat.
Yep, I told you this was full of top hats.
This game has so many top hats. It's a top hat. Yes. Good. Oh my god!
His father is somewhere in the Daemon world.
Or alternatively was eaten by that.
That too, yeah. It could be his skeleton that's dropping all of his top hats.
Yep.
And by all of, I mean just one.
Yep.
We did it!
Also, it went back to his room there, and I was like, man, I want to see the skeleton with the top hat, but it didn't show it clearly enough to see it.
Alright, tune in next time, and Kenny sucks his own dick.
Tune in next time for me going on camera. Shit, I just did. I ruined the next episode. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.